Owen here, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about all things like reality transurfing and Neville Goddard and transforming your life in magic fashion. Today, I'm going to talk to you about changing your beliefs. Yeah. One of the very first times I had to seriously do this happened in about 2001. I've been divorced for a year, and my ex quickly remarried his whatever you want to call it. Anyways, they got married, and I was still trying to establish a healthy relationship with my boys. So I was trying to call them every night and tell them good night, because I felt like, you can only imagine, I felt like my heart had been ripped out and taken away from me. And probably because it had. It is what it is. But I had gotten to where I was telling them I needed to talk to them because I was kind of forced to tell them to call me, because I would call them and she would answer the phone and say, they're out playing, they can't come to the phone right now. And I was like, okay. So it went by for a while, and so I was telling the boys, please call me before you go to bed. Well, that led to something really ugly. I get a bullying email, and this was one of the first, from the stepmom, and she's like, you've got to quit telling the boys they have to call you, they're crying, they're so upset. I mean, it went on and on and on about how dramatic it was, terrible it was for her. Yeah. I was forced to change the way I look at things, because I could not have my boys put in that situation, whether they were or not. I can only imagine they probably were. They were only like 5 and 3, or 3 and 6 at the time, somewhere around in there. They don't understand, they don't know, and they probably were starting to feel the turmoil of being pulled from me and being stripped from me. So I had all of these things going on in my mind, trying to protect my children, at the same time trying to live my job as a mom with somebody that's trying to replace me, and it was awful. I mean, I can tell you, I've been through some horrible circumstances, and I overcame them, and I found advantage in them. So the advantage I found in this situation was I had to start changing my belief system. I just had to. Otherwise, I was gonna go postal like this lady I saw on TV the other night. She was going postal because her husband was bullying her with the court system. She actually ended up shooting and killing the husband and the spouse. And I was like, oh my God, that's bringing back bad memories, because they were so mean to her. I could totally understand where she was coming from, but dude, you got to be spiritual about it or something, or otherwise you'll go off the deep end. So this is what I did. I started changing the way I looked at things. This was the beginning of that. I did it gradually, but I started changing the way I looked at my role as a mom. And eventually, it took several years, but I got to a point where I was actually in contact. I know it's gonna sound woo-woo, but I was actually in contact with my kids spiritually. And I could actually contact them anytime and everything. I was able to give them a good night hug. This did not happen at this time, but I started changing my belief system, and I started gradually awakening. And it wasn't until 2007 that I actually had my spiritual awakening process begin. But during this time, I had to change my beliefs about what I was as a mom. So I had to go, well, I can't tell them good night tonight, but I can, just do the best I can with what I've got. I've got to let it go. And the main thing I focused on was I did not want them to hurt. It wasn't about me. It was about them. And because I was able to go, okay, I'm going to stand back and not be part of this drama and watch. That's what my process as a mom became. I stood back and watched, and I did that all throughout. And the better I got at it, the more in touch I got with my spiritual side, that I was able to really overcome all the ego crap that was going on, or like the world of Caesar, like Neville Goddard says. I was able to go, whatever, let her be that way. If that's what she's got to do, she's got to be that mean. She must be really unhappy. It is what it is. I ain't complaining. Actually, I'm grateful for what I went through, because I experienced the crisis and had the breakthrough. So my next video, that is what I'm going to talk about. And so that is what I want to give to anybody who will listen, that when you're going through this crisis of your world crashing around you and everything is not the same, you're fixing to have a breakthrough, or you're either gonna crash and burn like that lady did, shooting and killing everybody in the situation, and her kids hate her to this day, or you're going to awaken and have a whole much more peaceful life and happy life, and also help others in the process. Transform your life in magic fashion. That's my video for today. I hope you liked it. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And until next time, peace out and